Oakland, California, commonly known to most as the town, the largest city and the county seat of Alameda County. Oakland is one of the largest cities overall in the Bay Area and the 8th most populated city in California. For those of you that are not familiar with what the Bay is, it's a city within city surrounded by a body of water. This is the home of the Black Panthers, pimps, players, prostitutes, finessers, scammers, and hustlers. One thing you gotta know is, it most definitely goes on in the town. Which brings me to the next story. Who is Nia Wilson? Nia Wilson was a beautiful African American girl born November 10, 1999 in Oakland, California. Nia was the youngest of 6 sisters and 2 brothers. She was a cheerleader and a rapper. Nia and her cousins were in a music group called Girls in the Hood. Nia attended Dewey Academy and was scheduled to graduate with honors from the Oakland Continuation School. Unfortunately, she never had that chance to walk across the stage, but with honors she did graduate, which made her parents happy. July 22nd, 2018 would be a sad day for Nia's family and friends. Nia and her 2 sisters, Latifah and Tashia, were coming from a party at their aunt's in Concord, California. They caught the train in Concord and would transfer at MacArthur Station in order to make it home. Now, if anybody know anything about MacArthur Bar Station, they would know it's always problems there. On this day, the problem would be John Cowell. John Cowell at the time was a 27-year-old, 5'8" tall white man. He was raised in Concord, California, where he lived on and off for years. John had a very violent past, starting at the age of 18, when he was arrested for beating a man and his daughter. The bar was very familiar with Cowell, as 4 days prior to the death of Nia, he was confronted for not paying his fare. In 2016, he had been found guilty of second-degree robbery after he pulled a knife and a fake gun in a Lucky store at a El Cerrito Plaza on a security guard. As we see, he was definitely a menace to society. Cowell rap sheet goes a long way. Now getting back to Nia, this will be the day that Nia met darkness. At 9:30 p.m. at the MacArthur station, John would slash Nia's throat and stab her older sister Latifah in the neck. The attacker was silent and stood back watching as Nia died while Latifah tried to save her. John would then flee the scene. Police would identify John based on the security camera. A backpack with Cowell identification would be found, and a witness would state they seen him wiping a knife clean. There is absolutely no motive for the killing, but that the attack was racially motivated. Cowell's parents would later release a public statement claiming he suffered from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, blaming this attack on his mental illness. John would be arrested July 23, 2018 at the Pleasant Hill Bar Station at 6:27 p.m. A witness is reportedly responsible for his apprehension.
A BART writer captured the arrest of 27-year-old John Cowell on her cell phone camera. Officers found him after intercepting an Antioch-bound train at the Pleasant Hill BART station. Earlier, Cowell was spotted on the platform at the Coliseum station. It was this sighting that triggered the series of tips from the public and ultimately his arrest.
They asked him what his name was. He was truthful with the officers in terms of his name, and they asked him for identification, and he did provide a California identification.
He would face life without parole and even a possibility of the death penalty. Cowell's lawyers requested more time to review the evidence, and the plea entry date was postponed until September 14, 2018. On September 14, 2018, attorneys further delayed the entering of the plea. The plea entry was delayed until the date of October 26 of 2018. Specifically, the defense is waiting for the prosecution to release a video of the fatal stabbing in order to inform of the plea. Finally, on October the 11th, 2019, Judge Kevin Murphy agreed to seal a future motion to dismiss the case submitted by Cowell's public defender, and the motion will be argued in open court proceedings on November 22nd of 2019. Cowell was expected to enter a plea on November 22nd of 2019. The court found Cowell competent to stand trial in July of 2019 after 3 court-appointed doctors evaluated him. One of the evaluations found Cowell incompetent, the other found him competent, and the third evaluation further could not come to a conclusion. Finally, on July 17, 2020, justice will finally be served. Cowell will be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. There's been so much talk about the Nia Wilson case. The activists have widely critiqued the coverage for the murder on Fox affiliate KTVU, after the station released a photo of Wilson holding a gun instead of many other available photos of the beautiful teen. Later, ABC News reported that the photo was actually of the teen holding a gun-shaped phone case and not an actual weapon. Frank Somerville later would issue an apology for the image. Newspapers and news stations have been largely responsible for covering Wilson's murder and have critiqued cable news sources like CNN, Fox News for not spending enough time on the event, despite the public's outcry and ground coverage. Nia Wilson's death brought out over 1,000 protesters who would attend her vigil and march through the streets surrounding MacArthur, carrying signs of Nia's name and face. At MacArthur's BART station, there are 2 large publicly created monuments to Wilson, including a large display of flowers and balloons and candles and public performances. The family of Wilson sued BART for failing to protect Nia and her sister. The family holds them responsible specifically because a transit officer had caught Cowell skipping fares a few days before the attack, and because of the previous arrest at the BART station. Wilson's family is stating that Cowell should not have been allowed back at the BART station. The Wilsons claim that Cowell's violence was foreseeable and also preventable. Although this suit cannot bring Nia back, the reason for this suit is so that the BART can prevent further attacks from taking place. Wilson Memorial was held on August 3, 2018 at 11 a.m. in East Oakland. Her funeral was live streamed. 18 doves will be released at the service, one to represent each year of Nia's life. Nia will be laid to rest beautifully. Her casket was brought to her resting place in a horse and carriage. Nia's name was spelled in flowers and displayed in the front of her casket. Just giving my final thoughts. There is no amount of money or explanation that can change this heinous crime. Too many slayings occur in Oakland, California, many of which are preventable. I would like to give my condolences to her family and friends and let you know we have not forgotten her. So always remembering her name, rest in paradise, Nia Wilson.